And if you guys ever come back into, thanks, John. I'll have to repeat this all again. Thanks, big guy. But if I will probably have to repeat it anyways if you come into prime time. So happy to pick me apart. We have all our coaches, they're well versed on that as well. But that is it in a nutshell.
So I've got everybody muted right now. Once we get through our spiel here, we will open it up for questions to kind of go through there. So the things I want to cover is kind of piggyback on some of what Chris said, but really dive into the main part about this is what is it, how to schedule, and kind of going from there. So if you have not been to primetime in the past 2.5, 3 weeks, we really revamped it. We made updates in the weight room, expanded it, got rid of the couch that was in there. We turfed the rest of the weight room, so adding more space. Um, Believe it or not, there was a set of stairs in the middle of the pitching area that went from our current pitching area to the karate studio underneath. The karate studio moved out, and we took over that karate studio space, turning that into what we're calling a pitching lab, but really it's a throwing lab. So the stairs that go directly from the pitching area upstairs, the current one, go into the new throwing lab downstairs. In there, we have Rapsodo, which is a device that it's similar to like a HitTrax that we have in the back, but it's more for pitching. So when you throw the ball, it picks up the throwing velocity, the spin rate. So it kind of gives us some good data and analytics to use. We have that downstairs. We have iPads for us to be able to do video analysis of our players. We have TVs up there so we can airdrop the videos up and do kind of either individual or small group work to really dissect the throwing mechanics of our players. Once again, I'm saying throwing, not just pitching, right? Yes, when people think arm care, the first thing everybody thinks is pitchers. Well, everybody on the baseball field throws. So you need to build up your arm strength, arm stamina, and take care of your arm because catchers throw just as much as pitchers. Your infielders are throwing just as much, especially middle infielders. You're throwing a ton in outfielders. Your job is to run, catch the ball, and throw it in, right? So we need to make sure that we're continuing to build our arm strength and taking care of our arms throughout the year. All right. So the new space is there. We've done a lot of upgrades to that. So if you've not been in, hopefully you can get in the next little bit and take a look at some of that we've done. So that's the new space that we have here. We said our coaches that we have, current coaches, we have not got rid of our pitching coaches. We still have Coach TJ O'Leary, who's going to be working in our pitching lab, throwing lab. We have Coach Bradley Tuttle, who's going to be in our throwing lab. Then we brought in some new coaches. Some of you guys know Coach David Hulls. Coach David coached our 14 and 11U, but Coach David's going to be working in there. But one of the two that I'm super pumped about that we brought in, one is Ryan Edmonds. For those of you who have been with our 13U or our 10U, you've got the chance this past year to meet Ryan. Ryan was a pitcher for George Mason University, played for Coach Brissett on the College Aces. But Ryan is a hungry, dedicated, motivated pitcher who wants to see our players do better. But he brings the energy that you see in Chris and I and in Coach TJ and Coach Chooch, the energy that you see in us, but he brings it to pitching. Chris and I know pitching, but we are not pitchers, right? We know throwing because that's what we do, but we haven't specifically taken the time and broken down the analytic portion, but that's what Ryan has done and does. So we're super pumped to have Ryan leading our arm care program and really fully diving in. He's been working and training under the bullpen for the last 6 to 8 months as we've been really getting this rolling to making sure that he knows exactly how the program is that we're going to be doing. All right. Full disclosure, the bullpen did not invent arm care. The bullpen did not invent the program that we are using. The program that we are using is going to be a mix of what's called armcare.com. It's an arm care, arm health program. It's a hybrid of stuff that us and the bullpen have been doing for years separately, but also collaboratively. So this isn't something that just we Googled or Chat GPT'd it real quick and found an arm care program. This is something that has been proven and tested for years. It's just bringing their expertise, collaborating it with ours, and having the right group of coaches to really do this. So we're excited about those coaches. The other is Mike Holfield. So Mike has coached our 15 and 16U teams. He'll be doing 16U this year. He did 15U last year. Mike was a college pitcher at Salisbury University and went to the College World Series twice. and it was a pitcher there at Salisbury as well. So having another pitcher, once again, really studying throwing is what we're excited to have our arms taken care of. All right. So talking about the new space, talking about the coaches that we have, what I want to dive into is how this program is going to work. All right. So I'm going to do some screen shares here in a minute to kind of to show how the signups are going to go. But we are going to be offering sessions 7 days a week, 365 days throughout the year. Okay. There will be, yes, on some of the major holidays. We will not have in-person sessions. There will be the option for virtual, which we'll dive into. I'm not going to ask our coaches to come in on Christmas if they celebrate Christmas and whatnot. I'm not going to do that. But and don't expect you guys to also be there. But we will have 7 days a week throughout the winter. We will have coaches in the facility working with our players Sunday to Saturday throughout these times. These classes, the arm care sessions, are going to rotate. They're going to be 90-minute sessions that go every 30 minutes. Okay, so here's how it will work. Group one would come in at 5 o'clock, let's say. All right, 5 o'clock. They're going to come in. They're going to check in at the front desk, and they're going to go in and start in our current upstairs pitching area. We will have one of our coaches up there who are going to check them in on our app that we use. They're going to do a 30 to 60-second survey on how their arm feels, how much throwing they did recently, lifting they did recently, so we know how much taxation they did or did not put on their arm and on their body. So we're going to be taking all that into effect. Then they're going to go through a dynamic warm-up. They're going to go through their band routine, their plyo ball, their throwing routine, all that upstairs with one of our coaches. It is capped at 10 kids per 30 minutes, but we are expecting to have anywhere between 6 to 8 kids per 30 minutes. We can accommodate up to 10. We will not go more than 10, but we're expecting to have about 6 to 8 per 30 minutes. All right. After the players go through their 30-minute routine upstairs in the main area with coach, they're going to go downstairs. When they go downstairs, they're going to then go work with their next 2 coaches. All right. So we'll have 1 coach upstairs and then 2 coaches downstairs. All right. Of the 2 coaches downstairs, one of them is going to be Coach Ryan. All right. We'll have another coach who will be there as well that we just discussed. One of them, they'll be there as well. So we'll have 2 coaches downstairs. When they're downstairs, they're going to be working on whatever the throwing mechanical portion of the day is, right? Whether that is making sure our hands are up in the right position, making sure that our follow through, when we go to throw, that we're striding out. As we start to get in, we'll have 2 coaches there for a reason, because if we have a group that's all pitchers, then we will primarily do balance point. We'll start to work on pitch grips. If we have a mix of pitchers and non-pitchers, one coach will be doing more of the pitching drills, the other will be doing the throwing drills, but they'll be going through different circuits in that lower level in that next 30 minutes time frame. All right. So when that group that comes in at 5 goes downstairs, the next group is going to come in at 5:30 and do their drills or warm up top, while our first group is going to be in the lower area going through their section and their stations with the 2 coaches. So in the first hour, you're going to get working with 3 different coaches on different mechanics, warm-ups, bands, plyos, all this to build up. It's all structured. It's going to be player driven. They're going to guide themselves off of the board and the app with our coach's guidance. So 3 coaches in there at a time. The final portion is going to be the last 30 minutes of this workout. All right. After the players have done their lower area in the new space with Coach Ryan and the other coach, they're going to go up to our weight room where we'll have our 4th coach. Right. That coach is going to be in the weight room, putting them through an explosive 30-minute workout. They're going to be 5 different workouts set up throughout the week. So depending where the player is in their progression, they'll do that workout. So if it's a Monday, everybody will most likely be on day 1 lift. They'll come in and they'll go and they'll do that lift. Our coaches will be guiding them through, making sure they're doing the proper mechanics, safety, making sure they're not getting hurt going through here, but also pushing themselves to get the most out of their workouts. If it's a Tuesday and a player already came Monday, then they'll do day 2 workout. If it's a Tuesday and that's the player's first day he's come in, then they'll do day 1, right? So it's going to be player driven based on how many times they've either worked out that week or come into the facility to do the arm care and lifting sessions. But each player will come through in a 90-minute cycle. 30 minutes on our upstairs with one of our coaches, 30 minutes downstairs with our other 2 coaches, and then 30 minutes in the weight room. So if you come in at 5, you'll be there 5 to 6:30 and getting your entire workout, your entire arm care, and you can do that 6 to 7 days a week if you would like. All right. So this is an unlimited platform to come in as many times as you'd like. You can come once, twice, 6, 7, whatever you would like. And each day will be different. All right. Each week is going to be different. We're going to test players once a month on their arm strength, on their grip strength to see, are they making gains? Are they staying? Are they plateaued? Or are they not going in the right direction? And we need to change their route. We're going to be monitoring them the entire time to make sure that they are continuing that upward trend to show that growth. So this is all stuff that we're going to be doing by having our coaches in there all the time. So 7 days a week, we will have coaches in. That's something that's big that, like I said, we've never done before. We've never had coaches in on 7 days. We never had offerings of Sunday mornings or Sunday evenings to do sessions. That's something that we're going to be doing now to make sure that our players have the ability to train all throughout the winter. This is also something that is not just for the winter, it's going to be year round. So when our players who are in high school go into high school, or if they're playing in our aces in the spring, we're still going to be offering the arm care sessions 7 days a week. We know that high school players may be coming in more often on Sundays or later evenings, so we'll be structuring our times accordingly. But our coaches will be in there every day. No player will go in to do these sessions, lifting or arm care, without a coach or coaches in there with them. So that's something that's new, that's exciting. We've been testing it with a bunch of our players for the past couple weeks. Now that we have our space downstairs pretty much fully operational, we've been doing this week another group of tests as we're starting to build our testing group out, just for us to continue our flow, show the proof of concept, and get more people excited about this program. So that's in a nutshell how this will work. Like I said, it's tailored to our players. It's going to be player driven, meaning that they'll have a list of 5 or 6 things that they have, stations they have to go through, but our coaches are going to be guiding them and working with them throughout those stations, throughout the 90 minutes. Now, one thing I do want to pull up, and then we'll kind of piggyback from there, is how do you register? All right, so I'm going to do a quick screen share for this, and all registration is going to be done via eFacility, and I believe Webby is either on here or we'll hop on in a minute. But I want you guys to be able to see how you can register for the sessions that you want to do, and how you have the flexibility to pick a different day, different time each day or each week. So, Chris, give me a little thumbs up when you see the screen up. All right. So I'm on eFacility. I think I'm not on an account right now. I haven't logged in. But if you go ahead and you can log into your account, you go on to book sessions over here on the left-hand side, and you'll be able to see a calendar. And the calendar only has the arm care sessions up. Okay. So if I'm going to go look, let me move this out of the way. If I'm going to go up to to December, which is when all these sessions start, you can see the days and times when all of the arm care sessions are offered. So if I wanted to register for Mondays at 5 o'clock, you can see 10 spots are available. I'm going to go ahead and click on there. I'm going to hit book. It's going to ask me to log in. Let's see if I remember what Webby told me. And I'm going to go ahead and log in here. Boom. You can all see Webby's password here. Okay. And then we log in. And boom. Okay. I'm going to book this session. And now I have booked 5 o'clock on Mondays. Let's say I want to come back Tuesday, but I want to come at 6:30. You do the same process. If you want to see which ones you have booked, you come to the left side, my schedule. No, saving it now. And there you can see I booked Mondays at 5 o'clock. This allows you to pick the days and times that you do or do not want to come. So it allows for a lot more flexibility in your schedule. And it just makes it easier for you to figure out maybe carpools. If you want to come with a bunch of people together, you can figure out who's coming on what days and what times, and you guys can all sign up together. But knowing that each session is going to be 90 minutes, including the lifting and the arm care, you can kind of plan accordingly that way. But there are plenty of sessions available. If we start to get to the point where on certain days, certain sessions are filling up a little bit more, really looking at the weekends, We know that some people may want to come, some may not. Then we can add more sessions, but we want to make sure that the times that are there are being utilized by the players because we do have a lot of spaces that are available. So once again, you go to book sessions, it should take you to the calendar, and then you pick the days and times that you want to do. It should be built out all the way through the end of February, which is when our winter training stops. As we start to get closer to the end of February, we will then build out March, April, and May as well. But once again, you can come every single day if you want. Okay. Now, the last part I'll add in before I open it back up to Chris, and then we'll do questions, is as Chris mentioned, the flexibility to be able to do what you want when you want. We know that everybody doesn't live in Alexandria or right by the facility. We're fully aware of that. Okay. We know that not every kid is driving and they can't come to prime time whenever they want. So one of the things that we have is we have the app that the players are going to be using every day when they come in, the ArmCare app. They will have the ability to do that on their own. But also we have the ability for players to do their lifting workouts wherever they would like as well. So let's say it's the summer and the team goes to a tournament for a long weekend or a week, and they still want to get their workouts in. They have the ability to use our app to get these workouts. So I'm going to share that screen so you can kind of see the workouts the players will be doing, but you'll be able to see this as well. So Chris, give me that thumbs up so I know you see it. All right. So this is our Primetime app. This is our app. We've created it. I can't say we. Chris and I did not create it. One of our coaches did, Thomas Baird, created this. And this is our lifting app and our program for our players. All right. So week 2, these are the workouts the players are going to be doing. So the players are on the road and they want to see, all right, what lift do I do today? Here it is. Right? They're going through their warm up. We've got the warm up routine. Then they're going to have their lifting routine. And then they've got their finisher and a cool down. This is for every single day throughout the 10-week progression of what the players will be doing. Okay? If a player misses a day, they're sick or they can't come and they need to go to their local Gold's Gym, or maybe some high schools, they just have open lift and you want to come lift on your own. Instead of doing what I call a TikTok workout, which is literally just seeing what's on TikTok or Instagram or what your friends are doing and do that lift, which oftentimes means that the kids did biceps 6 consecutive days and maybe one set of like bench press. That's not helping them get better. Yes, they're at the gym, but they're not actually doing a program that is helping them get better. They're just doing the same body part every day, right? You need to have a structured plan. Now we have a structured plan. The players, like I said, they don't have to come to prime time. They can do it at Gold's Gym. They can do it at Yorktown or W&L or West Springfield, wherever they are. But at least they have a structured program to now do what they need to do and come in. They can come in 1 or 2 days a week and do the rest at their place, right? This allows them to not have to come every single day, but they can still get better every single day or the days that they would like to. So this is all that's included for the players who do the ArmCare routine. It's the lifts that we'll be doing every single day in the weight room, but then they have the ability to do those on their own. Obviously, we'd love for them to be in person. We can monitor them a little bit better, make sure their mechanics and all that as they're going through, but we just know that it's not if we're being realist, you can't get the prime time 6 or 7 days a week. It's just not everybody has that ability. So let me make sure my checklist before I pass it back. You got the groups, we got the coaches, we had the app, the new space. Lifting, we're going to do baseline testing. If a player is not physically at the point where they're able to, for squats, get underneath the bar and do back squats or front squats, then they'll do goblet squats. We're going to accommodate their ability because we know that we're going to have some 14, 15-year-olds who are phenomenal, who have been lifting for a year or two, and we may have some 16-year-olds who've never been in the weight room. That's okay. We are going to modify those workouts around our athletes to make sure that they are doing it safely and effectively. And that's why, obviously, if they're able to come in at least once or twice a week, it gives us the ability to do those checks on them. So I'm going to throw it back to Chris and then let him wrap up. And then we're happy to answer any questions and clarifications on anything that we have here that we may have missed. So, Chris? There you go.
No, there we go. Yeah. Like I said, it's very, really exciting stuff. And there might be a lot of questions with it. Webby, can you get on here and talk for just a quick minute about everything, that if there's any issues, I'm happy to talk to him about it, or some common themes that you've been seeing that's been messing up?
Yeah, so pretty much I try to make it as easy as possible when you go and sign up for the memberships. I think before when we first released it, our website had other ones up too. And so some families signed up for ones that weren't connected with the arm care, but it still works out the same way. But when you go in, it's all pretty straightforward. It just says arm care membership, ACES player. If you have any troubles, just shoot us an email. Typically, if you've already like say if you signed up for winter clinic or lessons before and you're struggling to sign up for a membership, I can do it on the back end. Prefer you guys to do it, but if you really can't do it, I can do it pretty easily. Payment wise, we've had like some cards get declined just because the banks suspect fraud. It happens. So if that happens, we'll get an alert. I'll shoot over an email just saying why the card wasn't charged, and um, then it's kind of up to you guys to call the bank or something. Or sometimes the expiration date was typed in wrong. Trying to think what else. I'll send out emails through Easy Facilities sometimes. I don't think I will need to for memberships with arm care. But say if I don't know, the facility is closed for some reason, which I don't think it's ever been closed before. So you would just get an alert through Easy Facility. I think it does give you notifications when your booking is coming up. I think I enabled text notifications. So if your phone number is in it, you should get a text if it's when it's coming up, and then if you need to cancel, I think it gives you instructions on how to do that as well. If you need to cancel a booking, just shoot me a note and I can take you off that list. But I think it's pretty easy to do on your end. I'm pretty sure you just select the time slot and you just hit cancel instead of book.
And that's the nice thing, right? If you're scheduled for 5 o'clock arm care on a Wednesday and you hit traffic, which we all know happens in Northern Virginia, and now you're not going to make it until 5:30, just on the app on your on the phone, take yourself off that and register for the next one, right? There you have the ability to do that on your own. It's not like a lesson where you need to cancel in advance. It's the arm care. It's an open. It's a drop in, but we want to make sure that it's not over committed, which is why we capped it at 10. Because the last thing we want is to not cap it and then have 40 kids come at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, and then it's just not possible. So the only other thing
Yeah.
I'll say while Ben is here is Ben's wife is due on Sunday with their first child. So Ben may be in and out with availability. That's no excuse. He should be having his phone with him. No, just kidding. But in case Ben is not there, Chris and I will obviously be answering. We'll be on the emails and whatnot and be able to get things rolling. But
Yeah. And just be mindful of other people, right? I know you guys run into traffic and time sickness or whatever, but try not to sign up for 12 sessions and you're only hitting six, right? Because it might cap a spot. Let's just be respectful of all prime time. We're in here to try and do it together. But like I said, you could let me know, even if it gets overflowed in the winter, I'll be able to help out even when I'm in there. I'm always in there in the winter, so that's good. Yeah, and before we go, Ryan, you want to say a few words right here? Ryan Edmonds is on and just kind of talk about, your goals, your passion, and everything right here.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Like Coach Brissett just said, my name is Ryan Edmonds, and I'm overseeing a lot of the downstairs stuff this winter. I'll be floating around upstairs here and there, but a lot of the downstairs stuff. I was an assistant coach for 13U Leon and 10U Tuttle this fall. And like Skaggs said, we started this week doing a lot of testing, and this arm care program is going to be great for our athletes. Being able to have and get real-time data that shows us coaches what specific deficiencies that the athlete needs to work on is going to be huge. The downstairs section will all be tailored to an athlete's specific needs. If we get a video of an athlete, we'll be able to give them specific drills to work on based on those things that we see in the video. Also, same thing goes for weight room stuff. Like Skaggs mentioned, if we run a strength test and his that athlete's numbers are low, and we know that he has to get stronger in the weight room before he gets more explosive, his stuff is going to be tailored to strength stuff and not explosive stuff, and vice versa as well. Um, there's just a lot of cool stuff that goes into the program, and I'm excited to get started on December 1. So, yeah, thank you.
and the exciting part too is it's tailored to the individual athlete, right? So like part of Ryan's day will be seeing who's coming in, and then when they're coming in, making sure that that plan is set up for the player. Or after they get done, making notes, we keep it in our profile that we have of the players on our own. So that way we make sure that, all right, we got to make sure the player's doing this or doing this. We're going to be doing a lot of that videoing downstairs to let players know, hey, here's why you're, come falling off when you're pitching, or here's why your throws are sailing across the diamond when you're throwing to first. It's because your release point, well, also you're falling through here. It's all mechanical stuff that we can see, whether that's us watching it and then videoing to show the player as well. Because as a former teacher, I know most of my students were visual learners and they needed to see what they were doing wrong and not just hear it. Right. So that's one of the things that we'll be making sure of with this, is being able to let the players see what they need to do, and have different avenues to hear these corrections. So the last thing I just want to throw out before I answer questions, the other part of the membership that our players will have the ability to do when they come in is some players will have if players want to come and hit throughout at our facility throughout the winter. We get that question asked a lot. Coach Brissett, Coach Gags, I want to come hit. Well, who doesn't want to come hit? Between 4 and 9, Monday through Friday, you'll have a very hard time finding a space to get in and hit. When school's canceled, when school's closed for the day, or there's a half day, players can always get in before 4 o'clock. There's never an issue at 4 o'clock. For our older players who are driving, or I know high school kids are not going to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock all the time. I go to bed at 9 usually, but high school kids aren't. Then we have a lot of players who come in and hit at 9 o'clock at night, right? They'll come get their hitting, and then in the winter, our hitting times, our open hit times will be more limited, strictly because our arm care is taking up half the facility. Our team hittings and team sessions and lessons are taking up the other half. But when we get into March through November, there will be a plethora of open hit time. So all this to say, each month we are going to be posting on TeamSnap when we will have open hitting times available at prime time. When we have open hitting times available at prime time, players are able to come in during those times, and they'll be able to come in and hit. As we mentioned, in the winter, we know it's going to be later times, probably geared more towards the high school kids, or if middle school or younger want to bring their kids at night, more than welcome to. When there's no school, snow days, stuff like that, players can also come in throughout the day. We have the ability to unlock the doors from mine, Webby and Chris's phone. So players want to get in, we can unlock it to get them in. Our facility's fully stocked with cameras. So all we ask players is, when they're done, clean up your mess. You hit, pick up the baseballs, leave it better than you found it. That's kind of our request, because then it messes up for anyone else who's trying to get in and hit afterwards. So, Chris, anything you need to add before I unmute everybody and open up for questions?
Yeah, I think it's just making sure we teach our boys to respect the stuff that's in there, right? I wish I always had this when I was playing, but we work on the machines constantly because they break them, but kids leave them out, and they hit them and everything. Make sure you remind the boys, right? Hey, we're here to take care of it. We yell at them all the time to make sure it is. And again, it's just taking care of our stuff, right? All stuff that whether they play college ball, that's the goal, or professional baseball, they're learning how to take care of things at a value, which, goes beyond just the game of baseball. It's a life skill that they need to learn. So clean up stuff, but help from you guys, right? Hey, did you clean up everything? All that stuff. Did it make it look perfect? Like I said, we find it on the cameras of who it is, and we will revoke some privileges for the kids. And that's the last thing we want to do. But again, it goes bigger than that. Clean it up. We always see where it is. So, we have a new machine in there for some of the guys who always complain about the machines. I always tell them, yes, it's curveball sliders. Go hit that. Doesn't matter. If you can hit that, you can hit anything. But we have a new machine coming. We'll probably get another one here probably next year as well. So really, really cool stuff that you guys have access to. But yeah, fire away any questions you guys might have. Just let us know.
So age restrictions right now is we have the arm care sessions set up for our 13 and older players. Simply because a lot of the stuff that we're doing with throwing, doing some plyo ball throwing and whatnot, where it's not at the right point where the players should be doing that at certain ages. However, we could accommodate if a player says, I really want to do the arm care program. We can accommodate some of the arm care stuff. We do have a 12 and under pitching session. I believe it's on Thursdays, 6 o'clock. That's also an option where we'll be doing arm care in that as well. It's not just going to be it'll be pitching, but they'll also be doing arm care stuff that's more geared for 12 and under. But really, the arm care is for 13 and up.
Yeah, I'll also make a point real quick. For athletes younger than I think 14, once you get to the big field, that's when strength testing gets started. Any athletes younger than 13 or 14, I think it's 14 when you go to the big field. Any athletes under 13 will not be strength tested. It'll strictly be video analysis.
Awesome. Thanks, Rye. A couple of questions in here. I see. Yes, we're still going to have individual pitching lesson space. We've been sending emails out to families for the past little bit. I would recommend getting that. You're responding to those emails quickly because the spaces that we have a space still, but knowing that we have a lot of arm care, it is not as much as we've had in years past, but we still have a lot of spaces open with all our coaches for pitching. So definitely respond to some of those emails if you've seen some, but we do have space available. As far as initial testing, Rye, what time is testing tomorrow?
5 to 7 session.
Tomorrow we have arm care testing from 5 to 7.
4.
4 to 6. What is
Yep.
it?
Yep.
4 to,
4 to
it's 4
6.
to, 4
Sorry
to
about
6
that.
tomorrow. And then we will be doing on Monday as well from 4 to 6. I know, Ryan, that's not one for you, but Monday we'll be doing from 4 to 6 as well. So you can come in and do that initial testing. And then I just need to confirm what time our one on Tuesday. I believe it'll be 4 to 6 as well. You come in, how long does the initial test take, Ryan?
The full took about an hour and a half. Just because it's first week, first day. Got to get them into the system. Got to get step by step of what they need to do before they go downstairs to get tested.
But if they do come, if they're not able to come beforehand and the opportunities that we have, and we'll be putting more opportunities out. We wanted to have this call before we talked about the opportunities we'll have next week. When you come in on day one, session one, we can also get your testing in there. So just know that if you come day one or that first week, your hour and a half may be a little bit longer just to make sure we get everything in. I saw a few more questions here. Notice the rotation you had on the lifting, but do you recommend a rest day recovery considering? Yeah, so we have 5 days listed on there for lifting. You can come 7 days. We are not expecting players to come 7 days. For our high school age players, which 15 and older, some could be 14 and older. I actually just had a combo with some high school players earlier on this. Three days a week for lifting is like you need to lift 3 days a week. If you're a high school player, it should be 3 days a week during the off season. And 4 is like the golden number. If you can get 4, that's what we're looking for. I've had overachievers over the years who on 5 days. That's why we have 5. I don't put 7 days purposely because some players will be super overachievers and want to do 7, and that's not needed or necessary at this age. So 3 to 4 is the ideal amount of time. Arm care, Ryan, correct me, but I think in a perfect world, if a player could get the 3 to 4 in there, would be ideal. They can come more. I think you could. I don't think you could do it every day if you wanted. But being a realist and looking at family schedules and what you're able to do and what equipment you do or don't have at home, if you can't make it in, 3 to 4 would be, if you're able to, that's kind of the golden number. How much does it cost and how do we get the app and other workouts on the Primetime app? So all the workouts, all the arm care stuff, if you are on our Primetime teams, 14, 15, 16U, it is a requirement that you do this program. So we've already sent all that out to you. It was in the initial offer letter. All that is there. It is $100 a month. And that is all there. If you are a 13U player or a 17U and you would like to do it, then you can register and do that as well. But know that it's 14 to 16U. It is part of the requirement to do the arm care and lifting program. So it's $100 a month, and that is fully inclusive of lifting, arm care, and the usage of the app. Ryan, what's up?
Yeah, as far as the app goes, you can have your athletes download it, but don't do anything else. A lot of the times they're trying to create an account before they're in our system, and we have to sponsor the player. in order for them to get an account through us. So we have to wait until we're in person and we have to send them an email to register with us. So don't have them register or create an account if you do download the app.
John,
Watson. Yep,
I'll
go ahead.
handle this one. Loving, Mr. Loving, you said the video based. Everything video based is going to be through a system called OnForm. Okay, this is something that Ryan and I still need to dive into a little bit. The bullpen was teaching us how to do it. I've used OnForm for my hitters when I did the storm groups and everything. It's a really cool one where we can video everything. So for the downstairs, we'll be fully videoed. We'll have 2 iPads down there to make sure everything's good to go. Ryan can video when he needs it. It will go straight to one of his offices downstairs. He can link it up to the computer. The cool thing about it as well, it is part of a player, so you can put it in there. And we're still figuring out a few kinks in this, but if you have outside video, say during the year and he's pitching, you can upload that and we can analyze that as well. Again, that'll be a little bit, I know no one's really going to be pitching pretty much outside now. So, we're still working through a few kinks of that, but we will have the video of the boys in-house and through a system called OnForm, which is really, really cool.
Catching clinics. Yes, that was sent out in the registration link that we sent out this week. Catching clinics. Actually, we've done it for 12 consecutive years, Saturdays, 8 to 9, 12 and under, on Saturday mornings. 9 to 10 are middle school, and then 10 to 11 is that's high school catching. So that's on the registration links that we sent out this past week. You can register. It's on the Easy Facility application as well.
Great class. I'm not biased, but I run it. It's really fun. Let's do it. We get after it.
It's okay. Do you need to register for the initial testing? I would recommend it just so you can get used to doing it. Yes, I mean, we want to know who's coming. That way we can do a little legwork beforehand. But we want to make sure that for you, it's a good test. Do I know how to register? Do I have any issues registering? Because if so, then you can work with myself or Webby to make sure that everything kind of went smoothly before we start everything on December 1st that week. So you can go on and register for those days and times on there now. So that way you can kind of get, what you need to do.
Hoffman, I'll get this one. Hitting an arm care on the same night. Honestly, that's a read. You have to read that out of your son or daughter in a sense of this, right? If they go to it and they have a fantastic time and they don't seem dead or burned out or anything, then it works for them. Some kids can handle that. Other kids cannot. I personally never had an issue with that. So if you want to bang it out a whole one night, then go for it on that end. But again, if your son or daughter is coming back in here and they are just extremely tired, then yeah, split them up in that sense. But we're not gonna, stop you guys from doing both at the same time. That's perfectly fine.
And we have a few players who have done this before too, is they'll come in, they'll do a 90-minute workout, and then they'll do some homework for 30 minutes or so. And then they'll go, grab a bite to eat, do a little homework, and then get after it for a 30-minute hit or hour hit or whatever. So that there's different options. Mr. Jones, jumping on your question, yes, we'll be able to get his the metrics from Zach and John out there at bullpen for what he already did and stuff. Ryan talks to him daily, so we can get all that stuff. So when he comes here, he'll be good to go. Paul, yeah, eat peanut butter and jelly all day, every day. Mixing a little Nutella in there too, because our players need to get bigger. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that we do not have we have not dove into nutrition yet. It's not something we have. I mean, I tell my players, please don't eat Chipotle in the middle of a doubleheader for everyone's sake. I say that, but or before a lift, because I don't need you doing squats and after you just ate Chipotle either. But we haven't dove into anything with nutrition yet, but it is something that we have talked about doing. Let's see, all the registrations for the clinic and hitting sessions, our team coaches. So team coaches, so our hitting sessions with your individual teams, those were posted that we sent out this week. You can go ahead and register for those now. Those are first come, first serve as far as times. If you register for a different time or a different team and not yours, as of right now, we are not allowing that, simply because we want to make sure players on their own individual team get a hit with their coaches. If we get closer to start time and there's an open slot with a different coach, then we would allow that, but that's only if there's an open slot after that. But everything, all registration for everything we have this winter is done strictly through the Easy facility. And then for the memberships for our 14 to 16U team with the arm care, that will be billed on the first of each month. So that way you don't have to go back in and do it, which is why we're doing everything through there. For initial evaluation, same sign up link as the arm care. Webby, you still on here? Can they go and do, let's see, is he here? You might have hopped off. You should be able to go on and do the same. Let me see. I got it
It
right.
should be. It's all
Oh, there you are.
it's all linked to the same website, like it's the team registration.
Yep. So we just have to add in next week's time. So we have for tomorrow, you can go and register now. And then tomorrow, Ben will be adding the times, the days and times for next week on there that you can come in for the initial assessments. We got a few more questions. If a 17 player is interested, how do we opt in? Angela, just shoot us an email to the primetime email, or you can even just go onto the Easy facility and you can go up to, I should be able to share this, and Ben, tell me if I do this right, but I believe you go up to buy.
Yep.
Membership.
Yep.
And this pops up, and then you're going to do the Aces player membership right here. Hit buy and then log in, and then Angela, you should be good to go. And you can do it through there. If you have issues, just hit us up. Ben will gladly assist, or myself. Hitting arm care. Okay, almost done. And I'm registering with team for hitting and individual lessons. We've scheduled time through already, but do we just add those two items in the cart and check out? The app we will give you once you register. So, and because we have to get them registered on our end first. It's Armcare, and armcare.com is part of it, but we also have our Primetime app. So there are two apps that are part of that. But Doug, to answer your question, the lessons and if you the hitting times for the classes, you would register through Easy facility. The lessons, I think I'm waiting for you just to confirm if that time works. If that time that you sent me does work, just shoot us an email back or give us a thumbs up now, and then Webby will send you a link for that. Time works. All right, Webby will send you a link tonight. There you go. Any other questions for the good of the group, or anything about arm care, about lessons, about anything we discussed tonight? Ready to sign up for the membership. Why is there additional charge showing up for team? So the membership is for arm care, lifting, and then open hit. We're coming, you can open hit. That's what the membership's for. The additional charge of $350, that's not additional charge for the membership. That is if you want to do the 10-week hitting class with your specific coach. That's what the difference is. One's for arm care, membership, lifting, and arm care. The other is for 4-on-1 hitting instruction with your coach. So they are two different things. Nicholas, to sign up for the evaluations for arm care, go to right here on the Easy facility. I'll share it here. You're going to go to Easy facility. You're going to go to book sessions. And then this calendar is going to pop up. And if you look here on the calendar, this is for tomorrow. So you can sign up for any one of these 4 sessions tomorrow. Tomorrow, if either tonight or tomorrow, Ben is then going to go in and input the Monday through Friday days and times that we'll have next week, that players can come in next week to do the evaluations. We just haven't put next week's on yet because we wanted to survive week 1 of our testing here. Anything else that I miss? I don't think so. All right. I don't see any more questions. If you have any, will anyone be there tomorrow morning for evaluations? Tomorrow morning? I don't believe so. I think it starts at 4 p.m. Everything starts at 4. Everything's in the afternoon, so we will not have anyone there in the mornings. There's a lot of moving pieces to this. We have all our tests and stuff we have to set up, all the monitors and whatnot. So it's not something that we can just walk in and just do it. So that's why we have the set times, because we will have multiple coaches there, not just one person doing all this, because there's a lot of tests to go through. So
I think obviously with the times too, it goes with the school. Most of the kids have school tomorrow, so they're not going to do it. Summertime will be able to be flexible and come during the day.
Expect for the first evaluation, depending how many other players are there, hour to hour and a half max. But I'd say probably in that hour range for tomorrow, because I think tomorrow will be a lighter day. And as I said that, we probably just jinxed us. So sorry,
Yeah,
Ryan.
it takes longer. It takes longer. The session will take longer if the athlete is not in the system. If the athlete is in the system, and they basically have an idea of what they're going to do on a day-to-day in the app, the time will go by way quicker. For the first week, we got to get them into the system, explain everything, and then strength test. So it takes a little bit of time. We had a kid come in today who was not happy that it did not take 30 minutes.
It's going to take longer, but it's like, once again, this is all player centered and geared. Let's see. It says call for information on tomorrow. Probably because it's
You need the membership.
oh, because you have to have the membership to in order to book it. But okay, so Nick, go ahead. Webby's gonna help you out here. He'll get you set up. Nick, I only see Nick. What Nick is this? Let's see. I lost my chat. Guthrie, there you go. All right. Webby will hit you guys up. You got that, Web? Guthrie's
Yep.
got him. All right, cool. We'll get you hooked up. And if anyone else wants to sign up too, if they have questions, if they're not registered yet for the arm care, and they want to get rolling in there, go ahead and sign it up. But as a reminder, if you're on our 14, 15, or 16U, you should be already signed up for this to start December 1st. We'll be sending out reminders here this weekend about it. It went out on the initial offer. There were two links. The first link was to register and pay for the deposit. The second link was to register and pay for the arm care that would be billed December 1st. So if you have not registered for that and you're on our 14, 15, or 16U teams, that can be on your to-do list, because then you should have automatic access to everything we need to do there. But that's just for anybody in general. So this weekend, no, there's not evaluations this weekend. Evaluations right now are Monday through Friday.
I think the biggest thing that it'll start going live December 1. This week and next week is pure test run. Make sure Ryan and all of us are good on that. And so, but once we get to December 1, whatever that first Saturday is, then it will be live.
All right. Well, I recorded this. As I mentioned, I missed Chris's beginning spiel, but nobody listens to the first person who talks anyway.
Yeah, I'll just have to say it again. It's okay.
So
It's
I will
okay.
save this to a YouTube. I'll send it out on Team Snap to everybody. This is open to everybody, just so you know. It's for our primetime players. If you have players who are not in our primetime organization and they want to do the arm care, they're more than welcome to. They do pay a higher fee because we want to make sure our primetime players are taken care of. But if you do have a neighbor, a friend, a teammate who does want to do this, they're more than welcome to. They can sign up the same way you guys did. They just have to go ahead and then they'll select non-aces for that. So if you have individual questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We appreciate everything. Hopefully this was helpful, and then we will send this link out to you guys all shortly. Oh, thank you so much, and hope you get a chance to come see the facility soon.
Thank you guys.
Take care, everybody.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Yep. Go Lions.
All day.